string, papers, and stories.
To make a marionette or a string puppet out of newspaper, you basically roll lots of bits of newspaper up to use these pieces to make the legs, the arms, and the body. I'm just going to show you how to make one leg. If you do a reverse fold, you did this if you've made the flapping bird, just push it back through itself and squash it flat. And hold it down, and that gives you a little foot like so. And then for the knees, for give a joint, I fold across at right angles in one direction, and then fold back across in a straight line, and then do the same in the other direction. So basically we're going to put a diagonal cross in the center with lines at top and bottom, and that gives a bit of movement into the leg. You can do it in different ways, but it's the basic base, like a water bomb base, you're folding into the leg to give movement both directions. So that's all you have to do. Do the same for the arms, the same kind of little joint for the elbows. The arm should be a little bit shorter. Leave plenty of length so you can stick it into the body. But obviously you need two legs and you need two arms. But there's a nice little hinge there. So now I'm looking for, there's an arm, and there's another arm, and there's another leg. Yeah, so it's the same length. And I'll just check it's got a nice, yeah, nice little joint in it there. And there's the foot. And there's the arm. Again, cross over, left and right, and put a nice little joint in there. And a little, just fold it up like this. You can do, all this is just a very basic view I'm giving you. You can do this in a much more elaborate way, but if you can make this one, you can make it into something quite special. And you could paint it or even put a costume on it. For the body, I use 3 rolls of paper flattened down and stuck together with sticky tape. And then I weave them together. So weave left over right over left over right until you get a kind of plait coming up the body. I make quite a long body because I'm going to double it back over for the shoulders and up for the hips as well to hold the arms and the legs. So use quite a lot of paper. Don't worry about the length of it. It does seem to be quite long when we get to the top here, but a lot of use of sticky tape helps hold everything together. If you want to make it really neat and nice, you should use very little sticky tape and try and make it perfect. But when you're trying the first one, I think just use as much tape as you need to get it to hold together. So that's roughly the body. It's a bit wobbly, but it gives you the idea. Now, I'm going to put the legs in. So find where the feet are, and then where the hips are, and get the other end and put one end in. Hold it in place, and then the other end in. Boots at the bottom, of course, going out to the other side. Then fold all of that up, and you've got your hips and the legs coming out. And now we need some sticky tape here, just to hold them in place. I've pre-cut the sticky tape, if you see, at the side and just pulling it off length by length. So that's quite a good idea to pre-cut it and just have it lying ready to use. And put it around the body, hold that nice and tight. That's looking good. Now we can bend the legs down a little bit into position. Yeah, that's looking good. Now, next thing we'll need to do is for the upper part of the body, the arms will go in the same sort of way. Look where the hands are, put them out to the sides, left and right, across there, and you're going to again fold down, remember, bit of sticky tape to hold them. You're going to fold that all down, now the body's getting a bit more into proportion, and secure that with more sticky tape. So the whole thing's being held together quite well with sticky tape. And you see the shape's almost there. For the head, I've just crushed a ball of newspaper and pushed my thumbs in to make eyes, and you could shape a mouth. You could also cut a face out of the newspaper and stick that on if you liked. You could put hair on it out of bits of newspaper. So you really can make this quite elaborate, this puppet. But this is a basic design. And from here, it's over to you. You can make a whole set of puppets and even have a puppet show. Again, lots of sticky tape here. I'm just using this very basically for a showing for you. Now, I leave quite a long neck there. The idea would be to have a wobbly head. You need to have some movement of the head. So a long neck, when it's a proper puppet, I probably would have a string to the head and a string to the back. But in this one, I'll just have one from the back and the head. Here's a little hat to go on. It's a hat we made earlier, and we stick it on the top with a bit of sellotape, Unfortunately, it's come out to the side, but we'll put that back together. There we are. And that's just about him. Good old sellotape. Stick it in and hold it in place. And that's roughly the puppet. Now you have the puppet shape ready to go to be a marionette. But the next thing you'll have to do after this, let's get the hat on, yep, is to put the strings on. To do that, I use more rolled newspaper, and we're going to have a separate string for the feet and a separate one for the head and the back. So a long one for the head and the back, one goes for the right hand, one to the left hand, and one for the head and the back. And then this one here, it goes one to each knee. Okay, got one in each knee. Now, in order to make it proper and weighted, you need to put something in, or else the puppet will just flap about too much. So I've got a little bundle of pennies and 2 penny pieces for the bottom, tied around with sellotape, and I'm just going to tie that in with sellotape there and give it weight. So now I'm showing you what the assembled puppet looks like. I've put on the strings to the back and to the hands, I've put in the weights to the feet, and off we go.